Hello friends, let's try to implement Angular attribute directives today. So what are directives? Uh, so in a normal HTML, if you can see class, right, ID, and then there is a disabled required. So these are basically uh, attributes. And if you say like this, if you the text area, if you disabled it, so it changes the behavior, right? It changes the behavior of the input. So if you see this text area becomes disabled, I cannot enter anything. So in the same way, you can add a attribute in Angular. I mean, you can make your own custom attributes in Angular, and change the behavior of an element or a component. So same, we will try to implement a custom. We will try to create a custom attribute in Angular, and that we can do using directives. So we have a form. We have a form. What we will try to do, we will try to add a bottom underline on this form where the form ends, and that we will try to do using attribute directive. So let's start. Now to add a directive, we have to do ng generate. Either you can write directive full, or you can just use short form D and name of the directive. So if we say uh, bottom line, and we can pass a folder name slash bottom line. So this will automatically generate a directive class. So here is the directive. So this is how it gets added. So here is the selector of the directive. I mean, you can add your own. Maybe if you want, you can call it, instead of app, you can call it bottom line. So in this, we will try to implement host binding. Right? So I have added this class. Right? So what we will try to do, we will try to implement a directive, and using that directive, we will attach this class. Right? So we will go into the directive, use host bind. And then in the host binding, you have to specify what attributes you want to attach to. Like if you want to attach a class, then you have to pass it something like class name. And since we are going to add a class, we are using a class name. And then you can do a get and write any function name, like get class names. You can keep anything, this function name. And in the return, you will pass the class name. Okay. So finally, I have to use this directive in the HTML. I'll add this to the form. Okay. So what we did, we created this directive, we added a selector, and in the host binding is basically, it refers to the host element. What is the host element? The form tag is the host element. So this is the host. So what it will do, it will add a class. So whatever we return to this function, it will add to the class of that. So let's try to run this. Yeah, so you can see the bottom line has been added. Okay. Now, there are some variations here. I mean, instead of passing the class here, is what you can do, like class dot, and add this bottom line, and here you can return true false statement as well. So if I do this, you can see it, bottom is still there. And if I do false, it disappears. So this is how you can control from the directive itself. So one more thing you can do is like in the class, we are passing something, right? We are passing an input for, we are passing input. So you can take an input as well. So if we go to directives, you can modify it to accept input. So like a like component, we have input. In the directives also, we can have input. Input. So by default, we can assign a value as false. And here in the class, instead of passing true or false by ourselves, we can use this flag itself. And here we can pass true or false. And we have to, it is not appearing here. Yeah, right. So we need the square bracket. Let's try remove this. Yeah, it doesn't work, right? So while you're passing values, you have to put it into square brackets. And if I do false, it removes it. So that's how you create a custom attribute directives in Angular. Uh, we will see more things on directives in the coming videos. Thank you for watching. Thanks. Bye.